Hey guys, how you doing? Yet another real talk session with me. They're never planned, unedited, uncut. It is what it is. What I tell you or what I speak about is generally like out of the blue. And today, I don't know if you can hear this song. I think it's the perfect song for this topic. This is Jay-Z, Forever Young. So play it. But I feel like it's quite relevant to today's topic. And today's topic is stop seeking what doesn't serve you. Stop seeking what doesn't serve you. And yeah, let's get into it. So the reason for this topic is I was actually just sitting and just thinking about being a young me, and I had dreams and aspirations. And by me saying stop seeking what doesn't serve you, I feel like we constantly finding ourselves in positions of wanting things because other people have them, okay? We constantly want to find ourselves in situations where we have the house, we have the husband or the great partner or the car, and it's all earthly possessions that we're seeking. And I want you to think about the moments when you were in primary and high school. I think all of us had different dreams and aspirations, just generally, the people that we wanted to be, what we wanted to aspire to, and those things manifest in our subconscious minds. So I want you to take that moment, or take this moment actually, to think about when you were quite young and what you manifested into the universe. Because what we manifest, we cannot really undo it. As much as we evolve with time, we already manifested the people that we wanted to be. We already knew that we wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, an engineer, a musician, an artist. We can name them all, right? So we manifested this in our early stages of our lives. The little girl in you, the little boy in you. And we used to say them out loud with so much pride of who we wanted to be, where we wanted to find ourselves. But because years have passed and we're now on these grown-up bodies, let's call them grown-up bodies, because I believe that our subconscious mind, as much as it evolves, there's still that element of who we were when we were young, you know. And as we move and we evolve and we grow into these adult bodies, we start seeking other people's dreams and aspirations. And we forget about our dreams and aspirations. We now want to be the next Bonang. We now want to be the next AKA. We want to be all these famous people, and we forget that we had our own dreams and aspirations, and our journeys are different. Our journeys are different and our destinations are different. And the only thing that can ground us is learning the ability to bring ourselves back to the young versions of ourselves, that drive that we had when we were in primary and high school, knowing that I'm going to pass my school, I'm going to pass my grades, and this is who I want to be. That fire. And you take that energy and manifest it in what you want to become. So we need to stop seeking what doesn't serve us, because it doesn't mean that your friends, okay, I'll make an example of marriage. Maybe you're the only person in your group of friends who isn't married or whatever. Don't seek things that doesn't serve you. The people got to that point because that's what they wanted, or maybe that's what they manifested as young girls, you know. In growing up, I never had these dreams of a white gown and a veil and seeing myself walk through down the aisle. I wasn't that girl. I remember I just wanted to be first a journalist, and if not a journalist, a lawyer, and I'm studying towards that. And that's the person that I've always wanted to be. I didn't want to be anybody else. That's the only passion I have, is to be the real me, the person, the Nita, the go-getter, the striving person, you know. And I'm literally talking to you all, the people who are going to view this, that manifest, okay, manifest the things that you want. But at the same time, take the moment and breathe and remember the young you and what you wanted to achieve, where you wanted to go, places that you wanted to see. Just yesterday, I was speaking to a good friend of mine, and I was like, I still want to travel the world. And she's like, yeah, Anita, me too, you know. I've traveled to about 6-7 countries, and I want to travel to more. I don't want to be that person who hasn't been to France, or who hasn't been to Paris, or who hasn't been to the Maldives. Not because of flexing, but getting to see other parts of the world with no hesitation, with no boundaries, with no, you can't go there, you know, type of situation. I want to be that girl who travels the world. I want to be that girl who becomes that young girl who had dreams and aspirations. So I urge you all that you take that moment and you take that time to manifest in the things that you want, and call out the things that you want, and stop wanting what other people want. Whatever they want is whatever they want. Whatever you want is what is important. And we must never forget that, because this journey is not the same. The journey of Umbali, the journey of Ulirato, the journey of Uspe, the journey of Gideon, John, James, Abotabo, Bongani, Busiso, they're all not the same. They have their own journeys. They have got their own dreams. And don't fall in this trap of wanting to be other people. Just be yourself. No one is in competition with you. And that's what you need to remember. Nobody's in competition, and this world is not about competition. I mean, if it was about competition, we would have had an expiry date, right? Knowing that my end date, or I'm going to die on this specific day, then it would all be a race. But nothing is a race. Take your time. Pace yourself, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. But while you're chasing those dreams, you need to appreciate the right now. While you're chasing those goals, you need to appreciate the right now. And you also need to learn to keep your circle tight, your circle small. Whether it's family or friends, your circle needs to be small. Not everybody wishes the best for you. Whether it's family, whether it's your friends, not everybody wishes the best for you. So always do that. Keep your circle tight, and then you focus on what you want, day in and day out. On a rainy day, on a sunny day, there can only be one you. Remember that. Nothing else changes. And I bet you when you're watching this, you're going to be like, but Anita, it's easier said than done. And that's true. But it's when you actually find that inner peace in yourself, that inner young self that had the drive and the ambition, where you understand where you're going. You will know where you're going. And you'll be comfortable in who you are. Because when you're uncomfortable, that means you have forgotten who you are. When you're comfortable, every single day is yet another chance or another opportunity to be a better you, to be a better version of yourself. We're going to fall down 1,000 times. We're going to fall down 1,000,000 times. If your riches are going to come at 50, then so be it. If your success is going to come at 40, then so be it. Because we don't know tomorrow. It's not guaranteed. It can be tomorrow. So we need to learn to appreciate the right now and stop seeking things that don't serve us. We don't need those things. We know what we want. You know what you want. Don't want to be somebody that you're not. And on this beautiful Wednesday, I thought, let me share these words, because we all need to hear that. We all need to remember the young girl or the young boy in us. We all had dreams and aspirations. All of us. And sometimes you might think that the path is not the same, but I needed a diploma or a degree or whatever that you needed to get where you had to be. But sometimes it's just merely hard work. You can have all the papers in the world. You can have all the chances that you want, but it's your hard work. It's your passion that drives you, that gets you to where you want to be. So let's not stop and fight. I know most of us, right? We are at this point where we're like, oh, screw COVID, I'm done. And the one amazing thing about COVID that I've learned personally is that it brought the world to a standstill, yes. But it also brought silence into our lives. And if we don't come out different from this, then I don't know. But the best part of it is knowing how to come out of it better people. Knowing how to come out of it, having to have listened to ourselves, having had to silence the noise or the pressures of the world and focused on what we wanted to be and focused on who we wanted to be, you know. And I know most of us, others are still on lockdown, others are already on level 1, but don't rush into the noise. Take baby steps, crawl, focus on what you still want to do. Focus on who you want to become. Every day is a chance to be a better person. Every day is a chance closer to the person that you have always wanted to be. So let's not try hard and seek things, want things, but don't have understanding for it. And maybe some of us are religious, maybe some of us are not religious, but we all believe there is a higher power. Whether you call it the universe, whether you call it God, whether you call it Yahweh, whether Muhammad, however you call your higher power, whether you strictly believe in ancestors, that's your journey, and no one must remove you from that. But once you believe in something, once you hold on to that faith, nothing can stop you. No one can stop you. And we need to learn that nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Once upon a time, nobody had walked on the moon, but somebody did. That means that everything is possible. So if you're sitting there and feeling miserable and you're like, no, I don't want to do this life thing, just take a minute and breathe. Because you're the only person who's putting yourself in a competition when the whole world isn't. So don't be in competition with people directly or indirectly. Take your time, crawl. From crawling, walk. From walking, run. Just like how we came out of our mother's wombs, we all learned to be who we are. We learned how to speak. We learned how to walk. We learned how to be great. We learned how to dream. We learned how to aspire to things, wanting things. But for us to achieve that, we need to always go back to our purest form. And the reason I chose the song by Jay-Z, Forever Young, is because that's the only power we have. No matter how old we become, internally or subconsciously, we're always going to be that little boy or girl who wanted to be something. Whether good or bad, sadly, but that's when we built our character. That's when we knew who we were. Purely so, with no pressures of the world. So listen to that forever young subconscious mind of yours. Take a moment, breathe. Take a moment and meditate. Take a moment and pray. Take a moment and just focus on yourself. Because there can only be one you. So yeah, let's stop seeking what doesn't serve us. Happy Wednesday to you all. And I wish you all the best in life. Love and light, hugs and kisses. And I hope it inspires. I hope we can be better versions of ourselves. Because when we work on ourselves and we love ourselves, nothing is impossible. Thank you for taking this time with me. Thank you for listening.